Hello, welcome to more yoga with me, Emily. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you are well. And I thought that we would go through kind of a slow flow today, not necessarily a progressive one, nothing necessarily too challenging, although sometimes moving slowly can feel more challenging than moving quickly, right? You really have to think about it. You have to hold the thing poses a little bit longer, but it'll all be good. As always, if you have blocks or something that you can use to bring the earth up to you, they can be really useful. Also something to cushion your knees, like a chip foam block like this, or a folded up towel, or a blanket, or a pillow even, something like that. Though all of those things can be really useful. So let's get into it. Let's start in child's pose if you're comfortable there. If not, you can always lie down on your back and hug your knees in toward your chest. In child's pose, if the knees are together, you can get quite a bit of a nice release through the low back, but you'll get more compression through the belly. With the knees wide, you'll get more release through the hips. Now, in any variation of child's pose, you're going to get hips and you're going to get low back release, but it's just where you want to target. And then you can always stack your forehead on your, stack your fists and then rest your forehead on your fists if you like. You could outstretch your arms. I like bending my elbows and resting my hands underneath my shoulders, kind of like chicken wings. You could wrap your arms around behind you, wherever you need to go. And then for a few breaths, inhale through your nose. And exhale, sigh your breath away. A couple more. And continue breathing, however feels best for you, whether it's in and out through your nose or your mouth. A few more breaths here. And then slowly press yourself up with your hands. Bring yourself to hands and knees or a tabletop position. Little draw of belly button to spine. You could always step one leg out back behind you and then the other just to release any compression on the back of the knees. And then hands outer shoulder width apart or wider will move through cat and cow. Inhale, lift the tailbone, hollow through the lower back, broaden through the collarbones. Exhale, round through your spine. Tuck the tailbone under, really press the floor away. Inhale to dip your belly, and exhale round. Do a few more of these on your own time, on your own breath. You could take some other natural movement along the way. It could be a little wag of the tail from side to side. Could be barrel rolls through the chest. Go wherever you need to go, wherever you feel tightness or extra tension. Moving through those spots to help release. And then slowly come back to center. Little draw of belly button to spine. Tuck your toes and then lift your knees slightly off the floor. And then continue with cat and cow. Inhale to dip the belly. Exhale round. So warming up the muscles a little bit more now. A little bit more strength involved here. Quite a bit less mobility. And on your next exhale, lift the hips all the way up and back into your downward facing dog. You can adjust your stance if you need to. Pedal your heels to the floor, bending one knee and then the other. Wag your tail from side to side. Couple breaths here. Make sure your hands are nice and wide. Fingertips spread really wide too. And do a couple shoulder shrugs. And then find somewhere that's in between. So you don't want the shoulders really gliding down the back, but you also don't need to compromise the space between your shoulders and your ears. But there is a little active shrug. Press the floor away a little bit more with your hands. Hug the upper arm bones toward each other. And then lengthen your sit bones back to where the back wall meets the ceiling. One more breath here. And then gently bend your knees, look forward on your exhale, walk, step, or hop to the top edge of your mat into standing forward fold. Knees bent, or at least micro bent. You could sway a little bit from side to side. You might clasp opposite elbows with hands. Head heavy. And then with fingertips to your shins or the earth, inhale, little partway lift, belly button to spine. Exhale, fold. Couple more. This is a great place to use blocks. And then bend your knees, tuck your chin into your chest, slowly start to roll up to standing. One vertebra at a time. Slow as you need to go. And then once you get up to the top, bend your knees, tuck your chin into your chest, and roll back down. So we're going to come up and down a couple times through these ragdoll cycles. Now make sure your knees are bent the entire time that you're doing these until you stand all the way up. And then the first thing that happens is the knees bend again as you roll back down. The next time you come all the way up to standing, pause there. Couple loops of your shoulders up, back, and down. Little wiggle or release. And then feet hip width apart-ish. Feel a hug of the legs toward each other, little buoyancy on the knees, tailbone to the earth slightly, belly button to spine, shoulder blades on your back. So you're really active. You're kind of lifting here. Trying to lift your body away from the floor. And on your inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Maybe follow with your gaze. Exhale, dive or fold down to the earth. Forward fold. Fingertips to shins. Inhale, little partway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands, and on your inhale, step back to plank. So whether that's from your toes or from your knees, go wherever you need to go today, but the top of a push-up. Squeeze your bum, squeeze the tops of the thighs, draw your lower ribs to the sky without lifting the hips, right? So this is kind of like downward facing dog. You don't want to be there, but you also don't want to be with the hips quite low, right? So it's almost like a hollow body position in gymnastics. Last breath here. And then look forward a little bit. You might come down to your knees first as you exhale. Lower all the way down to the earth. Little wiggle of the hips from side to side. Once you get there, untuck your toes. Press the tops of the feet onto the earth. Send your tailbone to the back wall. Belly button to spine. Inhale, reach the heart forward and up. Baby cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Couple more. The next time that you come back down, tuck your toes, and on your exhale, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward, exhale, walk, step, or hop to the top edge of the mat. And then fold. Fingertips to shins. Inhale, little partway lift. Exhale, fold. Charge your legs this time. Inhale, sweep all the way up to the sky. Exhale, right back down to the earth. Inhale, little partway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower all the way or part way to the earth. Inhale through your baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk, step or hop to the top edge of the mat. Inhale, little partway lift. Exhale, fold. Charge your legs. Inhale, sweep all the way up to the sky. Exhale, right back down to the earth. Adding on, inhale, lift up partway. Exhale, fold. On your inhale, step your right leg back. Back knee can be up or down. And on your inhale, come up for lunge. One breath here. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands, step back, flow, or downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists, hips high. Inhale, back up. I'm just tucking my shirt in. Exhale, right knee to right armpit or elbow, hips high. Inhale, back up. Exhale, left knee, or bring your knee across to the left side, rather. Inhale, back up. Exhale, knee comes to nose, and then pause. So really lift the hips higher. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, step right foot to thumb. Your back knee could be up or down. And then inhale, up for lunge. Shake it out, go off alignment, release whatever you need to release, and then start to settle into your lunge. Really squeeze the bum on the back leg, whether or not the back knee is down or up. Wrap the left hip forward, draw the right hip back, and then start to ground the front heel a little bit more to feel the glutes on the right side. Activating. Gently float your arms up to the sky. Make sure you chill out on the shrug muscles. Grab hold of the sky with your right hand. Exhale, sweep the left hand to the earth, twisting toward the front knee. That left hand comes more or less in line with your front heel. Make sure the shoulder isn't jutting forward though. Wrap it onto your back. And you might start to take big shapes with that top arm. Last breath here. And then exhale, bring your hands back to the floor, tuck your back toes, step back, flow, or downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to the top edge of the mat. Inhale, little partway lift. Exhale, fold. Charge your legs. Inhale, sweep all the way up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, little partway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Inhale, step the left leg back. Back knee up or down. Inhale, up for lunge. One breath here. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands, step back, flow, or downward facing dog. If you happen to kick your block way off to the side like I did, and then pick it up. On your inhale, lift your left leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists, hips high. Inhale, back up. Exhale, left knee to left armpit or elbow, hips high. Inhale, back up. Exhale, draw the knee across to the right side. Inhale, back up. Exhale, knee comes to nose, and then pause. Stack the shoulders over the wrists. Press the floor away even more. Exhale, left foot to thumb. Back knee can be up or down. And then inhale, come up for lunge. And you can shake it out, go off alignment, release whatever you need to release so that you can settle into the stretch. Maybe squeeze the bum on the right side, ground the front heel on, and then maybe float the arms up to the sky. Couple breaths here. Grab hold of the sky with your left hand. Exhale, sweep the right hand to the earth. Wrap both shoulders onto your back. And maybe you take big sweeping shapes with that top arm. Any direction you need to go. And then plant your left hand back to the floor. Tuck the back toes. Step back, flow, down dog, or child's pose. So wherever you need to go for a few breaths. Allow the breath to settle. And then let's meet back in downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step your right foot to your right thumb. Pause here. Wrap your back heel to the floor for warrior one. So you might need to step the back foot up or a little bit wider. Wrap the left hip forward, draw the right hip back, belly button to spine, and then start to reach the right fingertips forward and up. And then the left drive through the front heel to come all the way up to warrior one. Now the hips might be open slightly on an angle rather than super dead straight to the top edge of the mat, and that's fine. We all have different body shapes or the ways that our bones attach to each other. But I really want you to squeeze the bum on the back leg, squeeze the top of the thigh. And can you de-weight the big toe on the back foot so that you're not rolling into the arch of the foot? Bring your arms to cactus. Lean forward on a long line. Keep wrapping that left hip forward. Inhale here. Exhale, twist to the right. Keep the elbows lifted though. Inhale back to center. And then bring your hands in prayer behind the head or behind your neck. Wrap the shoulder blades toward each other. Lift through the elbows. And then inhale, straighten through your front leg. Exhale, swan dive forward. Working towards both legs straight in pyramid. So you might step the back foot up or even a little bit wider from where it is. Again, this is a fantastic place to use blocks underneath your hands. Really keep wrapping that left hip forward as you draw the right hip back. Make sure the knees are micro bent so you're not locking them out. You might fold into this, or you might think of de-weighting the hands and taking it more into a strength variation. And then bend into the front knee. Walk your fingertips or your blocks forward a little bit. And then as you inhale, start to lift the back leg up for a standing L shape or standing splits. Look at the toes on the back foot. Make sure they're not directed out to the left. Wrap them towards the floor. And maybe you think of squeezing the top of the thigh and lift that lifted leg a little bit higher. And then exhale, release, standing forward fold. Little wiggle or sway. Inhale, partway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back, flow, or downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your left leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, Step your left foot to your thumb. Pause here, fingertips on the floor. Look at the back foot. Step it out a little bit, and then release the heel to the floor for warrior one position. Wrap the right hip forward. Really draw that left hip back. Belly button to spine. Reach the left arm forward and up. And then the right. Drive through the front heel to come all the way up to to warrior one. Sink into that front knee. Supercharge your back leg towards straight. Squeeze the bum. Squeeze the top of the thigh. And can you de-weight the big toe on the back foot so that you're not rolling into the arch of the foot? And then bring your arms to cactus. Lean forward on a long line. Inhale here. Exhale, twist to the left. Keep the elbows lifted. And then inhale back to center. Bring your hands behind your head again, or behind the neck in prayer. If that doesn't work, then bring your elbows or your hands to your shoulders. Should have said that on the first side. Little lift through the heart. And then inhale, straighten through your front leg. Exhale, swan dive forward. Again, working toward both legs straight in pyramid. So you might adjust the back foot up or wider. And then really wrap the right hip forward as you draw your left hip back. Little buoyancy on those knees, belly button to spine. You might stay here, folding over top of that front thigh. You might think of lengthening the spine a little bit, even de-weighting the hands. Lots of work on the glutes on that front leg. Okay, bend into the front knee, walk your fingertips or your blocks forward a little bit, and then inhale, lift the back leg up. Really squeeze the thigh on that lifted leg so that lifted leg extends. Flex the toes toward the floor rather than out toward the right. Wrap this front hip or the left hip back a little bit. And then imagine that I'm trying to pull your leg away from you. Can you resist that to maybe lift a little bit higher? And then exhale, release into standing forward fold, little wiggle or sway. Inhale, partway lift. Exhale, let it go. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back, flow, or downward facing dog. Couple breaths wherever you've landed. You might take child's pose here for a couple breaths. And then let's meet back in downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to the top edge of your mat. And then for 3 breaths, inhale, little partway lift. Exhale, let it all go. 2 more. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to plank, and then exhale, lower all the way down to the earth. Little wiggle of the hips from side to side. Untuck your toes, press the tops of the feet into the floor, send your tailbone to the back wall, belly button to spine. Inhale, reach the heart forward and up, baby cobra. And then pause here. You might reach the arms back along beside you, palms face up or down, or interlace the hands. Some of you might reach the legs so far back that they start to de-weight as well. Keep the back of the neck long, so probably you're looking down rather than forward. Lift everything up a little bit higher, and exhale, release all the way down. One cheek to the floor, deep belly breaths to release through your lower back. And then roll over onto your back. Once you're there, set up with your knees bent and then feet to the floor, setting up for bridge pose. Arms can be in robot if you like. And then press the heels into the earth. Inhale, lift the pelvis and the spine up and away. From here, you might choose to walk onto the outside edge of the shoulders. You could clasp your hands behind your back. If you have wheel pose, you're welcome to go into that. Last few breaths, wherever you are. And then slowly start to release down to the floor. Pause, couple breaths in stillness. And then hug your knees into your chest, little rock from side to side. And take your right arm out to the side. You might shift your hips right to start with. As you exhale, lower your knees to the left for a twist. As gentle or as deep as you need. Legs could be stacked. You could take a single leg twist, cross leg. You could bring a block underneath your knees or between them. And then slowly inhale, come back to center, reset your pelvis and your spine. Maybe you shift the hips left a little bit, left arm out to the side. Exhale, the knees to the right. Breath slow and sweet. And slowly return to center. If there's anything else you feel like you need before your rest, maybe a happy baby or some sort of spinal flexion or extension, feel free to go where you would like to go. And then start to think about where you would like to end for your rest, whether it's flat on your back, legs bent or straight in a Shavasana, or you could rest on your side or in a seated meditation. You could end the same way we began, in child's pose if you wish. And once you have found your pose of rest, for 3 breaths, inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh. Your breath. And then let go of all breath control so that you return to your natural breath. And let go of any last muscle gripping or tension, particularly in your face or your jaw, your neck. And with each exhale, let your body melt a little bit deeper into the earth. And stay here longer if you can, 5 or 10 minutes. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.